Republican Senator John Thune of the great state of South Dakota, who currently serves as minority whip, is in focus now. Senator, when you look at those videos, they're a heart punch to all of us. But as a lawmaker, as a leader, you must see it through the eyes of, well, what do we need to do to fix it?
Right. For sure, Harrison. And let me just, as you all noted earlier, wish the president well. And I think we all hope for a quick and full recovery for him. And in the meantime, there are a lot of issues that we need to deal with in this country, one of which, of course, is the violence and the crime that we see in a lot of our cities. And, you know, the Democrats defund the police rhetoric it's reaping, you know, bad results out there. There are just a lot of things happening in our cities today. And I think that the president's obviously now trying to focus on that. That was going to be the focus of his visit today. But the fact of the matter is that the way that we restore, I think, a respect for law enforcement in this country is by having our elected leaders not talking about defunding them, not bad-mouthing them, not denigrating the work that they do. And that's clearly something that's got to change, because if you continue to see the attacks that are made on law enforcement officials in this country, it's going to encourage more of that. It's going to discourage law enforcement officials from staying in their jobs. And obviously, when you are allowing sort of crime to run wild and essentially preventing law enforcement officers from doing the job that we want them to do, these are the kind of results you're going to get.
Senator, what do you make of this new language in the Safer America plan that Biden was supposed to roll out today in Pennsylvania? I mean, it speaks of funding police. It speaks of hiring police. I mean, this is very late in the game, as many of them have a higher rate of suicide, and they're just details, some like what you just mentioned, for their leaving.
Yeah, I think this is a major problem, and it's a clear shift. I think the administration has recognized the damage that some of the rhetoric on the left is doing. And when you have elected officials and political leaders in this country bad-mouthing law enforcement officers and the job that they do, this is what you reap. And so it seems to me, at least, this is a direct pivot by the administration to try and head off what I think the left has done in a lot of our communities, and that's created the conditions that are leading to a lot of the violence and crime, not only against law enforcement officers, but against other citizens.
Well, let's pray that it's not too late to make the biggest difference that it can for the people who are suffering. And of course, everything comes back to politics there on the Hill, 111 days away from the midterm elections. We'll have to see what that does with people and their thoughts about Democrats and where we are right now with crime. All right, let's move to this. President Biden yesterday issued a stark warning on climate change. Basically, it's code red for humanity, he says. But he did stop short of the formal emergency declaration some of his party had wanted. However, announcing executive actions on the so-called code red. Let's watch.
It is literally, not figuratively, a clear and present danger. The health of our citizens and our communities is literally at stake. The UN's leading international climate scientists call the latest climate report nothing less than, quote, code red for humanity. Let me say it again. Code red for humanity.
Critics are calling out the president now, saying that inflation is actually where we should be sounding the alarm. We'll watch this.
Red emergency is American families who are struggling already, paying way too much at the pump, when they go to the grocery store, anywhere else, for all of the high prices that are caused by what Joe Biden's already done. All under the name of global warming and climate change and the Green New Deal.
Today, a new Quinnipiac poll puts the president's approval rating at an all-time low, 31%. Senator Thune, your top-line thoughts.
Well, first off, what he should be declaring is an energy emergency, because that's what we have in the country. The president and his policies have crushed energy development in this country. We need to get our energy producers off the sidelines, back into the game, producing American energy, making America energy independent. And the president's policies have led us to where now we're asking other countries to ship the liquid fuels here that we need to power our economy. So, you know, the reason his poll numbers are where they are, Harris, is the American people get this. They understand clearly, notwithstanding the president's attempts to blame Putin or to blame somebody else, this is the result, direct result of policy decisions that he and his administration have made. They've got to change course if they want to change his numbers, because as the price of gas continues to stay high, his poll numbers are going to continue to stay low. And ultimately, you talked about the election coming up in November. That's what's going to be on the hearts and minds of the American people. It's not going to be these things that they're trying to, the climate and other issues that people aren't talking about. What they're talking about is inflation. They're talking about the $9,000 per year more that it's costing the average family in this country to keep up with their daily needs and requirements. Those are the pocketbook issues that the election in November is going to be about. And I think that the president obviously is on defense a lot these days and shifting, trying to find something that will stick, trying to change the subject. But I think as far as the American people are concerned, that's the subject.
$9,000 extra that people have to come up with to just live the life they had last year.
The normal life, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Senator Thune, thank you very much for the details in that, your perspective and your time.
Thank you. Good to be with you, Harris. Thanks.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.